Hey, how's it going? So September was Suicide Awareness and Prevention Month. And I was a guest speaker on the Soft White Underbelly podcast on YouTube, talking about some of my trauma, some of my experiences that I underwent during my 20-year career with the NYPD, and how those experiences are just some of what men and women experience every day on that job, and how it can affect your psyche, and how we need to end the stigma of mental health and allow people to come forward and say they need help, they need someone to talk to, they're distressed, whatever. I have lost, and I've spoken about this on the podcast, I have lost too many friends from the time I was 12 years old right up until a couple of years ago, and everywhere in between. Too many to name, too many to count, unfortunately. And that has heightened my awareness of people's well-being. Now, today is November 11th, Veterans Day. And today's the day that we honor our veterans as we should. However, let's remember their mental health, right? Let's remember what some of the things that these men and women may have encountered, coupled with their own personal life experiences outside of their service, right? Life is difficult. And rather than just be lip service and say, oh, we have to remember our veterans, it's Veterans Day, do something about it. If you know a veteran, if you a family member, a friend, a neighbor, stop and give that person 5 minutes of your time and talk to that person. This doesn't have to be a formal check-in. We're not most of us are not psychologists, psychiatrists. Just be a common human being, commonly decent human being. Sometimes people just want someone to listen to. Sometimes people just want to know someone might care about how their day is going. That's all. That's all you need to do. I'm going to give you one quick example. It happened over the weekend. I was shopping with my wife. Actually, my wife was shopping. I was tagging along. I was in Marshall's. And I had a shirt on relating to, it was actually first help, and it was relating to suicide awareness and prevention among first responders. And on the back in big lettering, it says, "End the stigma." And my wife is shopping. I'm there looking on my phone, just kind of like scrolling, kind of like passing the time. And some young lady comes up to me, being in maybe her mid-20s. And she says, "Excuse me, what is that shirt for?" And I explained to her why I had that shirt on. And she began to open up to me. And this is a woman that I just met in a store. She was shopping. And she said, "You know, I struggle. And thank you for wearing that shirt, and thank you for trying to spread awareness. Today I'm having a good day, but that's not every day." And I was completely taken aback by this. I wasn't ready for this, but I felt an overwhelming sense of compassion. And I said to her, I said, "Well, are you speaking with anyone? Do you have anyone to talk to?" And she said, "No, I don't. I don't speak to anybody." I said, "Well, you should. You should speak to people. Tell people how you feel. Okay, that's part of ending the stigma." And I told her, I said, and I didn't know this young lady, but I said to her, I said, "You know, you're loved. I'm sure you have a family, and I'm sure you have friends, and I'm sure you have people that care about you. And always remember those people. And those are the people that you need to talk to should you ever have to talk. Talk about anything. Doesn't have to be your mental well-being. Just communicate like humans are supposed to do." Okay? So I leave you with that on this Veterans Day. We absolutely must honor and cherish our veterans. We wouldn't have the freedoms that we have without their sacrifice. But part of that honoring is remembering their mental well-being, whether they be active duty, retired duty, whatever. Focus on them, communicate with them. And lastly, if you're interested in seeing my story, where I share some of my experiences on Soft White Underbelly, you can find it on YouTube, and it's called Stories of a Retired NYPD Captain, Vincent Esposito. That is all. Thank you. Have a great day.